Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Sarah Jane. I'm a pre-hour practitioner working in DC. I make a lot of content on life in my 30s in DC, grad school at Georgetown, and books. So if any of that content sounds interesting to you, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe because it really helps support my channel. Today I'm filming with a different camera, so if things seem a little off, just bear with me. I am trying to figure this out. I've been having problems with my Canon G7X, and I just, instead of like figuring it out, I just figured I'd try my other camera setup that I use usually for photography. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Today we are doing a July TBR. I'm relatively new to the book world. I typically do a lot of vlogs, but lately I've been really into books and talking about the books I'm reading, and so I've been sharing more of that content here on my YouTube channel, as you guys probably have noticed, and it just really makes me happy, so hopefully you guys are finding it interesting as well. I have 9 books on my July TBR, which is actually a pretty unrealistic number for me. I usually read about 3 to 5 books. 4 is a pretty good sweet spot per month, but I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of time to read in the month of July just because I'm gonna be outside a lot, at the pool, at the beach, and so I wanted to have options to read because I'm definitely more of a mood reader. So even though I won't read all these books probably, I at least wanted the option to pick from them depending on what mood I was in. So let's first start with the beach reads that I want to read for when I go to the beach. First of all, I have the Hildebrand Paradise Trilogy. This box set is from Amazon if you're interested in this particular cover. So these are 3 of the 9 books. We have Winter in Paradise, which is the first book, What Happens in Paradise, which is the second book, and then Troubles in Paradise, which is the third book. So pretty much the series really centers around Irene Steele. She finds out that her husband was killed in the Virgin Islands, and she travels down there to see what's going on, and there's just a lot of like strange behavior occurring from people that knew him, and she takes her 2 sons with her, so that's their father, and they find out that really he's been lying for quite a long time, and so really you're getting to know these characters, you're finding out what he's involved with, and I really love how Ellen Hildebrand just really makes you fall in love with these characters, every single character, because there's multiple storylines going on. It's just really likable, really fun. These books, from what I've heard, are really easy to go through, especially if you're on the beach, so I'm really excited to take these with me on my beach trip. This is also the first time I'm reading Ellen Hildebrand, so I'm just really excited to jump into it. In terms of beach reads, my 4th book is also called Beach Read. So this is by Emily Henry. This book is about 2 authors who write in 2 different genres, and one day they decide to switch writing in the other person's genre to challenge themselves. From what I've heard, it's a bit of a rom-com. Everyone who I've talked to seems to really enjoy Emily Henry in this particular book. I read Emily Henry's recent release, which was Happy Place, and I talked about it in my mid-book wrap-up. I was very disappointed in Happy Place, but everyone seems to really like this one, so I'm giving Emily Henry one more chance. The next book on my July TBR is my Magnolia Summer. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely picked this up because of the cover. Like, this is just so cute. Like, how can you not like this book just based off the cover? This is written by Victoria Benton Frank. This is actually her debut novel, which is really exciting. I picked this up not only because of the cover, but also because the protagonist is a woman who is originally from South Carolina, and she moves up to New York City and then eventually comes back to South Carolina once this book starts. Of course, someone such as myself who actually has a very similar life. I'm from South Carolina, moved to New York, and I didn't go back to South Carolina, but my family still lives there, so I do visit. This just really seemed to hit home just based on the synopsis in the front, and I was really excited just to give this book a try, and I plan on reading it soon. Kind of veering away now from summer reads, this next book is a fantasy. That book is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So I finished reading ACOTAR, the series, probably like 2 months ago. Freaking love that series. It's my favorite series ever. That was my first time also delving into fantasy. I'm not really much of a fantasy reader, but I wanted to take like a breather after finishing ACOTAR because it's a lot. Like, those are some pretty big books, but I knew I wanted to read another series from her, so I heard lots of good things about Throne of Glass, so I decided to go ahead and pick up Throne of Glass. This book follows Selena Sardothian, I think that's how you say her name. She is an assassin. She's been working under the coal mines because she got caught. She is released to serve in a competition to be the king's champion. So there's 22 other people who are competing to be the champion, and she is one of them. So super interesting concept. Really excited to delve into this one. I have full faith in Sarah J. Maas that she's going to create a freaking amazing world that I'm going to fall in love with, along with the characters that go along with it. So really excited to delve into another series from her. Next up, I have Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. So I've seen a lot of people on BookTube talk about this book, so I'm really excited to delve into it. This follows the story of June Hayward and Athena Liu. Apparently, Athena is doing really well in her writing career, but her friend June isn't. So when Athena dies, June essentially takes her work and tries to publish it as her own. But there are a lot of issues with what comes up, specifically because this book is about the unsung contributions of Chinese laborers during World War I. So I can only imagine how someone who is Caucasian would have run into issues trying to publish a book like that. So as someone who is also Asian, I thought that this was really interesting. I'm also really into the reading world, of course, so I wanted to go ahead and pick this one up. This is actually a pretty new release too, from what I've heard, and there's a ton of praise just on BookTube, Book Talk, and even just on the back of the book. So really, really excited to get into this book. So there are two other books that I want to read this month, but I don't physically have copies with me. The first one is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I've already ordered this book. I also ordered the UK cover because I thought the UK version looked so cute. It should be coming in a couple days, so I'm really excited to get my hands on it. So Once Upon a Broken Heart is about Evangeline Fox, and she's learned that the person that she's in love with is going to marry another person. So she strikes a deal with the Prince of Hearts, and in exchange he asks for 3 kisses. But as time continues, she's learned that she's made a deal with an immortal, and it's kind of dangerous. Really excited to get my hands on that book just because I've heard so many good things about it. The last book that I want to read in July that I don't physically have my hands on is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Everyone's been talking about this on Book Talk, BookTube, everywhere. I just literally can't seem to get my hands on it. Even on Amazon, the delivery date was like in the middle of August. So I'm hoping I can get my hands on it by this month. If not, I guess I'll be reading it in August, but it's on my TBR for this month if I can get a copy of it. Essentially, this follows the story of Violet, who wants to be a scribe, but then her mother is like, no, you're going to learn how to be a dragon rider. I don't know a lot more about the book besides that, but I just know that it has glowing reviews, so I do really, really want to read it. So anyways, those are the 9 books that I really want to read in the month of July. Let me know in the comments below what books you're trying to read this month, and maybe I'll add something else to my TBR for next month. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel. Comment below, follow me on Instagram, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.